Okay, what I want to discuss with you now is I want to discuss this haversack kit that we're starting out with in our Pathfinder Youth Adventure Training in the Trailblazer phase of this program. And you should be able to fit everything in this kit except for what's in your pockets. And there's certain components of this outfit that we call it in the Trailblazer program that should always be in your pockets. And a good woodsman relies on the things in his pockets much more than things that are peripheral to him, like his haversack, because those things aren't going anywhere. You're not going to lose your pants. So you're always going to have those things. You should have a compass in your pocket. You should have a spare lighter in your pocket. Again, your knife should be attached to you with a lanyard. That way you've got ways to navigate, you've got ways to make fire. It's always good to have maybe some kind of a trash bag, maybe a 3 mil garbage bag stuffed in your back pocket. Even though you've got rain gear within this kit, if you were to lose this kit somehow, you would at least have some backup in your pocket that would give you some type of a cover element. So it's important to have as much as you can directly on your body without overdoing it. You don't have to stuff your pockets so bad that you can't walk. That's what the haversack's for. But things like fire and navigation and your cutting tool, those things, and your whistle, if you're going to travel out very far, you always want to have a whistle that you can blow in case something happens to you. You want a whistle, and that's part of this kit as well, and it should be attached to your body. So let's talk real quick about the components that are within this kit, because what I've tried to do is I've tried to put something together for you here that is very inexpensive, but will get all of the deliverable tasks done in the Trailblazer phase with no problem. So let's walk through this real fast. Okay, now I've got a couple items in this bag that really should be attached to your body, but I've stuffed them in this bag before I came out here. Obviously my knife is in my pocket. Now, I have on the outside pockets, I have a compass. This should be in my pocket, all right? A small compass that is capable of being able to plug in a degree reading by having a movable bezel ring on it. We'll cover more about this later, but you want to make sure that this has a movable bezel ring and a base plate. If you've got that, that's enough for this phase of training, and you can get a compass like this very inexpensively. The next thing you want is an Altoids tin that has first aid items in it. You want at least a few bandages in there, a few antiseptic wipes, some sting wipes and things like that. Those are the things that you want to put in this kit, and I'll put a list in a document on the Pathfinder Youth Adventure Training page of kit components that should be in your first aid kit. But it's very easy to put this together, or you can buy one that's already made. This is a Coleman basic personal first aid kit, and I bought it just like it is in the tin, and it was only about $6. Now on this side, in the other outside pocket, I have another Altoids type tin, and this is nothing but my fire kit. And I've got a box of Strike Anywhere matches, a Bic lighter, and a piece of sandpaper. And the sandpaper is just an extra striker for the matches if I need it. As you can see, we don't have any ferro rods, magnifying glasses, flint and steel, or anything like that, because in our basic evolution, we're going to learn to use matches and a lighter, because the most important thing now is for us to learn to build a proper fire lay. And if we can use an open flame device to light that fire and get a good sustainable fire in 5 minutes or less, we should be happy with that in the first evolution of this training. So we've got our fire kit and our first aid kit in the outside pouches, and we've got our compass in our pocket. We have a small roll of 1-inch duct tape just tied to the outside strap on a piece of paracord, and this is going to be an item that we can use for simple repairs in emergencies if we need them. It will also work as a fire extender, which we'll talk about in a later video, with open flame, to be able to give us a longer term flame for stubborn tinders and things like that. There's lots and lots of uses for this duct tape, up to and including backups to your first aid, that we'll learn and discuss as we go. All right? So let's look at what we got inside. Again, this kit's very simple. It follows the 10C mentality. And if you go through this and you have read my book, Bushcraft 101, or you've looked at any of my 10C type articles, you'll see that really the only thing missing out of this kit is what I call the cloth sail needle or the canvas sail needle. And we're replacing that with a personal first aid kit, because until we learn more about how to use our kit items for first aid, we need to carry a first aid kit. And you should also have any medications that you might need throughout the day if you're on medication in this kit as well. All right. We have a large piece of cotton material here, and this could just be a cut off piece of t-shirt. And if this is orange, that's even better. When we get into the deliverable areas of signaling, when we talk about contrast and movement, if this is a bright color like orange, it becomes a signaling device. But for now, it's just something that we can wipe sweat with, take care of personal hygiene. It becomes a compression bandage of sorts. If we need to wrap something up, it can become a sling. There's lots and lots of things we can do with this that affect not only our first aid and hygiene, but also making fire and signaling for rescue that we'll discuss later on in later phases of the training. Okay? For now, this is just your rag that you're going to carry with you every day, and possibly a signaling device if it's orange. We have a headlight, and it doesn't have to be an expensive headlight. It just needs to be bright enough for you to be able to see at night. If for some reason you didn't get back before dark, or you had to start a fire in the dark, this will help you do that. It also helps keep away the boogeyman. Again, it doesn't have to be an expensive headlight. It just needs to be something that takes, like a couple AA's or 3 AA's or something like that, that will last a good long time. And you can buy them at most discount stores fairly cheaply if you need to. We have a simple line winder here that's just made out of a piece of scrap wood. That's got about 20-30 feet of bank line wrapped around it. I think this kit calls for 20 feet of cordage is enough to complete the deliverables, but if you got some extra, that's okay too. I have a whistle attached to the other side, and again, this should also be in your pockets attached to your belt or something like that, so you're not going to lose it. And you want a whistle that's got a P in it. You want a referee type whistle. That type whistle is recognizable by people. The whistles that don't have P's in them, I have found over research and a little bit of experimentation out here at the school, that if you get very far away, you can mistake one of those whistles without a P in it pretty easy for a bird. A stadium whistle that has a rolling P inside of it is very recognizable to just about everyone, because we grow up hearing these type of whistles. So for an emergency whistle, you want something that's got a P in it. Get a small stadium whistle like this Acme. Again, they're like $4 or $5. And you can get them cheaper than that even if you look hard. Okay. For a container, we have a simple canteen cup and a canteen. And this canteen can be plastic. It's not a big deal if it's not. If it's plastic and not metal, because we have a metal container in our cup. All right, we want to keep this simple and inexpensive. You can buy a surplus military canteen for a couple bucks, and you can get a cup to go with it for another couple, $3. You want a lid that will fit this cup so that you have a cooking pot and you have a vessel, all right, just like this. That gives you the ability to cook food, boil water, all those types of things, and it gives you a closed vessel for making char later as well. So this is another part of the kit. It's only a couple of bucks. Notebook and pencil, very important. A set of utensils that fold up like this one, that's got a knife, spoon, and fork, or just a spoon is fine. And then some type of outerwear like a portable poncho is perfect, okay? Just something that you can use in an emergency if it were to start raining or something like that while you're out walking the trail. You'll be able to put this on. That completes everything in this kit, and again, it all fits very easily into this haversack. So that gives you a complete kit for being able to accomplish everything in the Trailblazer phase of this training. All the deliverables that are listed on the site can be completed with just what's right here very easily, okay? So you don't have to have a big, elaborate, or expensive kit. You're not going to have a ton of money in this. And then you just need your knife. And really, your knife is probably going to be one of the most expensive things in this kit, to be honest with you, because it's going to cost you probably $25, $30, $35, depending on the knife that you buy. But buy a good knife, get yourself a decent compass, and everything else will be fairly inexpensive. But again, like I said, this kit is more than enough to be able to get you through the first phase of this training. And a simple small haversack like this one, that's 10 or 12 bucks, will do the job just fine.